Welcome back for another packed edition of NC Sports Weekly News. Quantum Racing pushes Azzurra back on the ropes and takes the US 52 Championships in Miami. Gilmore is back and wins big at the ASP Roxy Pro on the Gold Coast. The spectacular 18-footers spar at the classic JJ Giltinan Regatta in Sydney. Sébastien Destremont reports from Australia. Also in Miami, the Swedes conquer America at the M32 Gold Cup. Aquabike World Championship is back on course, and Team France dominates the Qatar GP. NC Sports, plunge into the action. Arch rivals Quantum Racing and Azzurra were at it again for the U.S. Championships in the hot Miami sun. This second American stopover for the 52 Super Series offered a full range of conditions for the week, with mostly tricky and shifty light winds to some full blast moments in 30 to 35 knot gusts. With 3 wins apiece, podium placements would ultimately make the difference. Building an 8-point overall lead on Azzurra in the 9 completed regattas, Ed Beard and Terry Hutchinson led the Quantum team to victory, thanks to solid results in the last 3 races. Virtually neck to neck up to that point, the Italians on Azzurra saw their chances for a win dissipate, with a closing 2 6th places and a 7th. Owner Pablo Romers from Argentina and tactician Vasco Bascotto did also have to deal with another strong U.S. team in sled, captained by Takashi Okura, that grew steadily here in Miami and nailed the last 3 flights to close in 3rd overall. When Fragomens Interlodge, also from the U.S., did spar with the leaders and was rarely pushed off the podium, but never quite managed to win and had to settle with the 4th position. With the first season event in Key West already in the bag, and now with this win in Miami, Doug DeVos' Americans on Quantum Racing currently lead this 2014 52 Super Series, ahead of Azzurra. The duel will surely continue at the end of May in Italy's beautiful Capri Island for the new Barclays 52 Super Series. Be there with NC Sports. Stephanie Gilmore is back and takes the classic ASPWCT season opener on Australia's Gold Coast. Looking for a comeback after a dismal 2013 marred by early injury, the 5-time world champion posted the high scores through the quarter and semifinals of the Roxy Pro. Several lay days hampered competition, but finally Snapper Rocks delivered. Steph first did away with American Courtney Conlogue, 15.43 to 13.50, and then pushed back reigning world champion Carissa Moore from Hawaii with a 17.10 to 13.40. The final defied all forecasts as Bianca Buitendag from South Africa showed top form, defeating both the Australian Sally Fitzgibbons in the quarters and the American Lakey Peterson in her semi. Banking on local knowledge and experience, Gilmore came out strong on the 3 to 5 foot break, first posting an 8.80 and then a 6.33 for a 15.80 total, leaving Buitendag to pick up the scraps and close with a 10.47. Sitting pretty for the new season, Gilmore with this win also bags her 5th career Roxy Pro Gold Coast title. The full story on the next NC Sports Buzz.
Welcome to the office. Sevi Jarvin, Sam Newton and Scott Babbage put their foot down during the 2014 JJ Giltinan Trophy, the unofficial 18-footers World Championships.
Sydney Harbour offers all sorts of wind conditions for these sailing beasts. The dense traffic in the harbour gives a chill down the spine of the 34 teams crowding the starting line. On board their red machine, Sevi, Sam and Scott are impeccable and set the tone in winning the first two races. A disappointing 12th place in the third heat gives some hopes to the competition, but the march of the defending champ is well on the way.
Well, we just got to keep it clean. I think the results at the end of it's a 7-race series, and if we just sail well and keep it tidy and just minimise those mistakes, the best people will come out at the end, I think.
With 5 races victory out of 6 races held, Gotolovic's 7th performance is outstanding. Leaving only the crumbs to their fellow competitors, the team manages to win the title with a race to spare.
It was good, it was fine. I think it helps a lot when you're out ahead and you got lanes yourself and all the pack are sort of hammering each other. That gives us a bit of a boost.
A textbook domination for this crew, with skipper Sevi Jarvin celebrating his 6th triumph, the record of his mentor and team manager Jan Murray.
It's just all about sort of staying in phase, I think. I think we got the last little beat at the top. We tried to cover, and when you're covering that, you just lose out. Like, you've just sort of got to back yourself a little bit and just try and stay in the wind the whole time.
The second place goes to Thurlow Fisher Lawyers, kept by Michael Coxon, a staggering 17 points adrift. The battle for third place is won by Chris Nicholson on board Mojo Wines.
Rendezvous next week, same time, same place. Until then, goodbye and fair sailing.
If you do less mistakes around the mark in the maneuvers, you can gain a lot, keep up the speed all the time. And that's, I think, what we learned from last year is, to have the slowest part of the course is at the start. Before we start, then we were quite fast all the time in the maneuvers and also a straight line.
Also in Miami with 11 wins and always on the podium for the 23 races of the event, Hans Wallen and his team War dominated the recent M32 Gold Cup in what amounted to a challenge between Sweden and the USA. Warm and sunny conditions in Florida brought on shifty winds in the 6 to 8 knot range for most racing days, and Frederik Loof also took a shot at the lead, but in spite of 5 wins and another 10 podium placements, still trailed by more than 20 points overall. Designed by Goran Marstrom and Karel Jung, the M32 is 9.68 meters in length and 8.35 in overall width, including the extended side racks, packing over 100 square meters in downwind sail surface and weighing just about 500 kilos. The M32 has a crew of 3 and is conceived as a direct challenger of the larger 40-foot catamaran.
We haven't sailed the catamaran so much, and we're learning and we're doing some small mistakes all the time, and we have to correct them and get better at it. So it's a nice challenge, and the boat is just, the boat is really performing well. It goes nicely through the water, and it's really like the angles, it's just beautiful. So it's pretty cool.
Swedish pro sailor Mattias Ram was also in the top 3 here in Miami, but his team is still looking for the best form.
All the teams, they have become better. They're all much more focused on the racing, and I think that, we have struggled. We have not been on 100% yet, and I think that some of the guys, they have. So we have to keep up and improve a bit to be able to be back on the top.
The M32 Cup will now move to Scandinavia for its 5-event season starting in May and closing in September, touching the ports of Göteborg, Malmö, Oslo, Copenhagen, and Stockholm. French riders Cyril Lemoine, Jérémy Porret, and Jennifer Menard left no room for the competition in Doha for the Aquabike World Championship season opener at the Grand Prix of Qatar. In the runabout class, Lemoine closed an absolute thriller Heat 1 race in second position, and just a tenth of a second behind another Frenchman, Eddie Pons, to win his third GP in Qatar in the last of 4 editions of the event. With a 10-second lead at the checkered flag in Heat 2, Porret pushed back both Sosa and Monti to win the men's ski GP1 division. Bad luck struck 18-time world champion Chris McCluggage of the USA, forced to retire and relinquish his lead due to a faulty spar plug on the very last lap. While in the women's ski GP1 division, Jennifer Menard built a comfortable overall lead of 14 points on pursuers Porret and Sorrentino. In freestyle, Rock Floriančius picks up his 9th consecutive Grand Prix victory with another near-perfect performance, scoring 98 points out of 100. As usual, ahead of brother Nak and Qatar's Sultan Al-Kuwari. Next stop for the Aquabike World Championship circus will be in Milano, Italy, this coming June. For the full recap from the Roxy Pro on the Gold Coast and Stephanie Gilmore's comeback with action, highlights, and interviews, stay tuned for the next edition of The Buzz. Plunge into the action with NC Sports.